Instagram. For personal use, I think it's a little weird and it can get toxic and narcissistic. Unpopular opinion, I know, with the overconsumption of content and stuff like that. But for business or career use, I think it can be of tremendous benefit. I personally have an Instagram account with 30,000 followers. Subtle brag, I know. And the point is, I'm not freelancing at the moment, but I get at least 3 to 5 DMs every single week from potential clients, which shows that it can be very fruitful to have an Instagram account, put work into it, and grow it. And so today what I'm going to be doing is actually reviewing your Instagram profiles that you guys submitted to us last week. I've got 3 or 4 here. 4. I've got 4 Instagram profiles to review. We're going to go over them. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and we'll go from there. Let's do this. So hey guys, I'm Izzy from Flux. Like I said, we're going to be reviewing your Instagram profiles. Last week we posted a bit of a story and asked you guys to submit your profiles for review. We got hundreds of submissions, but today I've got 4 that I'll be going over. And to make this, this will probably be a semi-long video, but to make it not last an hour, I've got some criteria here that I'll be going over for each profile. And I've got it written here. So first I'll be looking at your positioning. Are you showing off, are you showing that you have some sort of expertise? And then we'll jump into the profile photo. Do you look friendly, approachable? Is it of high quality? Findability. So believe it or not, Instagram is not search focused, but having the right keywords in your name field, so not the username, but the name field, the bolded area, can actually help you become a little bit more discoverable. So I find that to be important. Findability, we'll go over your credentials. Like, are you sharing your credentials in your bio? Are you talking about maybe how you got into design, how many years of experience you have, what kinds of brands you've helped? I think all those things are quite important. Also, talking about what kind of value your profile will deliver is crucial. So credentials in the bio, visual identity, is it consistent? Is your profile consistent? Do you have a consistent visual identity? What more can I say? And then post quality / purpose, are you delivering value? Is it in line with the outcomes that you're looking to get out of having this Instagram profile? Is it in line with what you do? If you're a brand designer, are you posting things related to branding? And then finally, does it show off, actually second last one, does it show off your personality? Does it show off that you're approachable? And you don't have to create posts of your real life, stuff like that. You could just have an Instagram story highlight that kind of talks about a little bit about you, a tiny little glimpse into your life, just to humanize the account a little bit. So there's that, and then finally we'll look at the link in bio and the call to action. So yeah, I've already had, disclaimer, a bit of a peek at these 4 profiles that we're going to be looking at today. So I do have some notes that I'll be referring to because I don't want to miss anything. Let's jump right into the very first one. So the very first profile we're going to be looking at is Eduardo Muniz. So he's actually a pretty good Insta friend of mine, and he submitted his profile. And he's got a great profile. I'll say that right off the bat. So we'll start with his positioning. He's got design therapy in the name, and what people usually do is they'll have in the name field, they'll have their name and then their sort of niche or their space. And so his is actually quite unique, design therapy. And if you go through his posts, his stuff is very much sort of design psychology focused, or maybe even design philosophy. It's very, very cool. I highly recommend you guys check him out. Username EB Muniz. Profile photo, he looks friendly and approachable. I think it's great. findability. He's got design in the name field, so he's definitely discoverable. Credentials in bio. This is where I feel like he could take it to the next levels if he had, if he kind of spoke about his experience, how many years of experience he has, who he's worked with, maybe mention how he got into design would be nice, or even elaborate on what he means by design therapy, right? So that's that for the credentials in bio. Visual identity, I think it's very clear that he has this sort of movie poster design-esque visual style, which I love. I think it looks fantastic. Love the typeface, by the way. I think it's great. Definitely go check it out. And approachability / personality. So I did notice he's got a lot of, not a lot, but every now and then he posts a picture of him either having fun or working, which I think is a very, very nice touch. So here he is playing the drums, and then here he is out with some friends or something. I don't know, but I think it's a really nice touch. Just humanizes the account a little bit. Makes you a little bit more approachable. And then finally the link in bio. And I think this is actually the best way to go, to just have just your website. Just one link, bam. Because what a lot of people are doing is they're using the link trees, tap link or link tree, where I'm sure you guys have seen it as you click on it and then you get bombarded with like 30 buttons, which I find is sort of paralyzing. I think simplicity and focus will always beat abundance. So just having one link there, one focus, I think is best. So well done to Eduardo. This is a fantastic account. Next up we have Ari, username AriFish109. And so right off the bat, positioning says in your bio, print and software. It would actually be really cool if you kind of elaborated on that. What niche, like what kind of software are you designing, and maybe what kinds of companies do you help? And then having that in the name field would be even better, right? Just to make you a little bit more discoverable. Profile photo I think is good. You're smiling, you look approachable. And credentials in bio. So here, again, it would be nice if you sort of stated the brands you've worked with, maybe how many years of experience you have, et cetera, like I mentioned earlier. Looking at the actual posts here, so this seems to be sort of you're using this as a kind of portfolio, which is cool. But what would be nice is, sharing your process for each of these projects, talking about your thought process, your reasoning, your decision making. So maybe you could have a sort of template for each post, even though these are different projects. For each project you could discuss the challenges that you faced, the solutions that you came up with, and that sort of thing. Because at the end of the day, people browsing Instagram, it's just for themselves, right? They'd want to be able to consume things, consume content. So if you can provide insights and help people out, because you don't have to do the whole carousel thing that everyone seems to be doing. You could keep sharing your work, but then also share your process, your thought, and your ideas and your thoughts behind all of your decisions for said project. So that's my advice for that. And what I would actually do is, again, when every square looks very different, it's hard to kind of focus on one, click on it, and go through it. It's almost a little bit disorienting. So perhaps what you could do, so even though these are all different projects, you could maybe have some sort of carousel template where the cover slide, the very first one, is looks the same throughout, right? So that we can actually focus on the headline itself and then swipe through the profile and discover the actual work. Again, Hick's Law, when you have a ton of options and when all these posts look all different and stuff, it does feel like you have too many options. But Hick's law says, when you have too many options, either it takes you longer to pick one or you just abandon altogether. So that's my personal recommendation for that. And in terms of call to action, so you're using the tap link, which is similar to Linktree. It takes you to this plethora of buttons, which I think is great. You have a YouTube channel, you've got a Behance profile, Dribble, contact. I think it's great, but you get lost in it all. As a user, that is, you get sort of lost. Like, I don't know which one to click here. There's so many options. I would personally focus on one. I'd have one link there, one or two at most. And again, I know everybody's using these, and it's a great way of sharing all your links, but personally for me, I just keep one there, and yeah, focus is everything, I think. So that's that for Ari. Well done, Ari. Hopefully these tips were helpful for you. Let's move on to the next person. Next up, we have CJ Gomes, aka Cam, which, you know what? Follow back. There you go. But he's got a really solid profile. So first of all, positioning. It's clear right away he's a brand designer. And he put that in the name field, which is tremendous. And profile photo, I think it's great. He looks approachable, really dapper with the tux. Well done, Cam. And credentials in the bio. So I really, really like Cam's bio. So he tells us about, he's got this little snippet on how he got into design. Or just his past. He was a 9-to-5er, and now he designs brands, which is great. I help self-starters create the life they deserve. So that's what he's all about. That's who he helps. He's worked, here are his credentials. He's worked with 15 plus global brands. Very impressive. And then he's got a call to action to top it all off. DM me to change. In terms of the, and actually I just want to stay on the bio. Another person that I highly recommend, if you guys are having trouble creating a bio, a person I highly recommend you check out is this. I'll show you. My friend Ruben Cespedes. He, if you're having trouble creating your bio, just use this as a reference. So, talks about how he transitioned into design, doctor wannabe, now UI UX designer. He's got 16 years of experience designing solutions, inspiring designers globally. Then he mentions what his actual page is about. So UI, you can expect UI UX tips and tricks, and he tops it all off with a call to action to get his ebook. So if you guys are having trouble with the bio, refer to my friend Ruben here. Let's go back to Cam. Okay. Visual identity, in terms of his posts, I think it's relatively consistent. Every now and then he seems to veer off a little bit. And I think, a lot of people may think this is sort of overrated advice, but keeping it visually consistent really allows you to focus on the actual headlines themselves. So, maybe try to make this even more streamlined and consistent, Cam. Otherwise, post quality, he's sharing how to create a unique brand. He's sharing things that are in line with what he does, which is he's a brand designer, right? How to create a unique brand, become unique, how to find design jobs, when you use InDesign. Anyways, you guys get the point, right? So create content that's in line with what you do, right? And then approachability, what I really like. So he doesn't post IRL photos, but what he does have is Instagram highlights or Instagram story highlights. And I like the fitness one especially. I'm a big fitness guy as well. And so this is a nice glimpse into his personal life. So I find this really adds a kind of a nice human touch to his profile and makes it more friendly and approachable. So shout out to Cam for that. Again, the CTA, I know everybody's using the Linktree, but I would recommend just focusing on one link. Again, simplicity wins over abundance of choice. So that's that for Cam. Let's move on to the very last person. And this is Irene or Erin. I'm sorry, I butchered the name. I definitely got that wrong. I'm sorry. But so the reason why I'm reviewing this one is because a lot of people submitted a profile that sort of looks like this, in that it feels like more of a personal profile than anything else. We got tons and tons like this, so I did want to cover this. What I would do, and what I have done, is I've got 2 accounts, one personal and one for business. And that's what I'd recommend you do as well, right? Create a second profile, and dedicate it to be exclusively career-related stuff. But otherwise, I think the bio isn't bad. The profile photo would be better a little bit close up. Most people browse Instagram on mobile, and the profile photo circle is really, really tiny. So having a close up of your face would be preferable, in my opinion. But yeah, so a lot of people submitted a profile that looks very akin to this, and I just recommend you create a second account and share insights or your work and stuff there. So that's 4 profiles. We went over 4 profiles, and I didn't want to leave you guys with some tips and tricks. So most people that submitted are sitting at around sitting between 0 to, I'd say, 1,500 to 2,000 followers. And I know that it can be tough breaking past that point. And so here I've got I compiled some tips and tricks to help you, grow the actual account. So first off, in your bio, you need to tell people why they should follow you. What kind of value are you sharing, right? Be clear about that. Be concise about it as well. So that's number 1. Make sure you have a great profile photo, preferably of your face. The accounts that have an icon or a logo as their profile photo usually don't get as much engagement. Again, usually. There are some anomalies, but I would recommend using your face. So there's that, a great profile photo of your face, preferably. If you need help, or if you're too lazy to come up with a profile photo design, then check out pfpmaker.com. Tremendous little tool, came out recently, and it's specifically for Instagram profile photos. So check out pfpmaker.com. You can create a beautiful Instagram profile photo that way, or just get inspiration. But it's super easy. You just drag in your photo, and it literally removes the background automatically and adds a nice Instagram-y background instead. So another tip I have is have a consistent visual identity. Just make sure it's not chaotic, so that people can actually focus on the insights and the words, right? Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Make sure it's consistent visually. And another thing is take 15 to 20 minutes per day. I would say at least 15 to 20 minutes per day to engage with other accounts in your space. What I mean by engage is comment on other big accounts' stuff, and make sure the comments are of substance, right? Sweet tutorial, even though I'm kind of guilty of commenting something short and lazy like that as well. But that is, it's not going to make you stand out. And the whole point of commenting on big accounts is it's easy exposure, right? So yeah, comment something of substance on a few bigger accounts in your space. DM them as well. Make sure you're not asking them to follow you back either. Try to be genuine and yeah, just have genuine conversations, and everything will fall into place. Another thing is collaborating with other accounts. So if you can find other accounts in your space that have a similar sized audience, I think it can be super beneficial to collaborate on a post with that person. You take advantage of their audience, they could take advantage of yours. It's a win-win. It's a win all around. And by that same token, take advantage of content curation accounts. So what are content curation accounts? Surely you've come across the design pages that all they do is repost other people's stuff. And some of these pages are absolutely massive. I'm talking 300, 400, 500,000 followers. So what I did between 0 to 1,000 followers is I would create a post, publish it, and then I would immediately reach out to 2 to 3 content curation accounts. And, super genuine, brief, concise DM. I would say, I just published this post. I think it'd be of great value to your audience. Feel free to repost it. But just super genuine, not pushy or anything. And that's actually how I grew from 0 to 5,000 relatively quickly. And make sure, of course, that the actual posts are valuable. So there's that. Reach out to content curation accounts. And finally, use stories, Instagram stories. Use Instagram Live. Get on Instagram Live with other creators in your space. You can have up to 4 people in an Instagram Live as of, I think, last week. So take advantage of these features. Post stories, get on Instagram Live. It'll help you build and strengthen a community. And that's that for my additional tips. That's all I got. I'll have all the 4 profiles that I just reviewed linked in the description. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, leave a comment, tell me what you thought. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.